Most men think long-distance relationships fail because of temptation. Let's face it, bargirls simply have vastly more options than virtually any man they meet. The siren call of nightlife is ever-present and merciless. In tourist hubs, there are too many men who want to take a crack at any good-looking girl that passes their way. But that's not why these relationships break. They break because distance removes the operating system the relationship runs on. And once you understand that, a lot of confusion disappears. Let's start with the uncomfortable truth. Bargirl relationships are almost always environment dependent. They are not built primarily on shared futures, long-term planning, or delayed gratification. They are built on proximity, immediacy, and real-time emotional regulation. That's why when you are physically present, the relationship works because everything happens in the now. Daily contact, physical reassurance, predictable routines, immediate conflict repair. The system stays stable because nothing is deferred. The moment you leave Thailand, that system collapses, not slowly either, immediately. Long distance doesn't test loyalty, it removes function. And without function, the relationship has nothing to anchor itself to. Here's the first major fracture point: time and communication. Most bargirls regulate relationships through presence. Touch, facial expression, tone, physical closeness, immediate reassurance. And yes, intimacy. Long distance strips all of that away, leaving the entire relationship as just a fuzzy memory within a day or two. What's left are text messages, voice notes, missed calls, and time zone delays. Consider the math of a 7-hour or 12-hour time difference. When you are waking up with a clear head and a desire to connect, she is finishing a shift, exhausted, or surrounded by the high-octane stimulus of the bar. When she needs a moment of emotional regulation at 2:00 a.m. her time, you are in a business meeting. This digital friction creates a lag where needs go unmet in real time. In her world, an unmet need is a vacuum that nature and the bar abhors. That silence doesn't always mean she's cheating. Sometimes it does, but what it always does mean is she has lost control over emotional management. And when emotional regulation breaks, discomfort replaces it, on both sides. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but bargirls do not sit well with uncomfortable feelings. They have the means and ability to mask it with a plethora of activities. And they will, sooner rather than later. Now add reality back into the picture. When you leave, your life resumes back home, but hers never paused. Bills still exist. Family pressure still exists. Her environment remains exactly the same, but you change. You stop being a physical presence and become a concept. And concepts don't compete well against immediate reality. This is where men misunderstand what's happening. They think, if she loves me, she'll wait. But waiting requires emotional stability and financial independence. Most bargirls don't have either, not because they're broken, but because their lives were never built to support delayed outcomes. In the village or the bar, life is lived in 24-hour cycles. Rent is due today. Rice is needed today. The future is an abstract luxury she cannot afford to invest in. There is also a social component men ignore: the peer group. When you are gone, she is surrounded by other girls whose entire worldview is built on the transience of Western men. Every day she hears, "He's gone now, he won't come back." Or, "Why are you waiting for a ghost when there is a man with a bottle of Grey Goose in front of you right now?" Distance makes her look foolish to her peers. In a culture where saving face and looking clever are paramount, being the girl waiting for a monthly transfer from a man 6,000 miles away is a low-status position. To regain status, she must re-engage with the immediate environment. Distance also exposes a deeper issue: attachment mismatch. Many bargirls operate with anxious or avoidant attachment patterns. Intimacy was learned from an early age through stability and immediacy, not promises. Distance creates uncertainty. Uncertainty creates anxiety. Anxiety erodes attraction. It's a vicious cycle. Meanwhile, the man often becomes more anxious and unsure of himself. So he sends more messages. He asks more questions. He offers more money. He looks for reassurance that distance makes impossible to deliver. Ironically, it is this very same behavior that creates a vicious behavioral loop. The man's behavior registers as desperation in the eyes of a bargirl, and even to a normal girl, desperation is highly unattractive. But to a bargirl with dozens or even hundreds of contacts in her phone, it is repulsive. To make matters worse, she remembers a more confident version of you when you were physically present, and then she starts to doubt she ever met the real you. This reinforces for a lot of girls the loser back home perception many bargirls have of men who pay for their services. You are no longer the alpha traveler. You are the nagging notification on her home screen. That makes the relationship even less attractive considering there are hundreds of other alphas in her presence at this very moment. So pressure rises even as attraction drops. If money is involved, resentment builds quietly but quickly. And then there's the part most men don't want to hear. Proximity allows her to juggle multiple roles at once: girlfriend, daughter, income source, emotional manager. Distance forces prioritization. When forced to choose, survival always wins. Not romance, not promises, not intention. This is why men experience the shift as sudden and impersonal. They feel replaced, but what's replaced isn't you. What's replaced is the role you played. Once distance removes your ability to perform that role, another solution appears. The system adapts, and usually that solution means another man. It is simple math. Men interpret this adaptation as betrayal. In reality, it's triage. Here's the hard truth, stated plainly. Long-distance relationships only work when three things are present. 1. A stable identity outside of nightlife. 2. An independent income that does not involve nightlife or freelancing. 3. Secure attachment and a shared, concrete end date for the distance. Most bargirl relationships were never built on those foundations. They were built on the vacation high. So they don't decay slowly. They snap. This doesn't mean the moments weren't real. It doesn't mean you were foolish. It means the relationship was time-sensitive, not portable. Distance doesn't reveal who she truly is. It reveals what the relationship actually was. If you've lived this, you already know how fast everything changed once you left. And if you're still confused about why it happened, now you know.